We're recording on all units here. Let me just get this up and going.
Check, check.
All right, here we go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Tina and Anderson Show.
Hello.
Sorry, I've tried this before. I can't remember the buttons.
Well, you're going to have to... What one did you press?
I can't remember the buttons. I was trying to do the one that cheers, but... Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Another episode. This is episode 26. If you're still tuning in and checking us out, we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Follow us on Instagram and on TikTok.
On the tickety-talkety.
We've been posting a lot of clips, and it's been pretty good.
It's been pretty good, if we don't say so ourselves.
I'm running on low fumes today, guys. I had a really long week last week and a short weekend and a long couple of days.
He works long shifts.
So, but I still do this because I love it.
But here we are, set up in our living room.
We love to talk at...
what time is it?
9 o'clock at night.
Oh, my God, it's 9 o'clock.
This is when we like to do it.
We do.
Do the podcast.
Okay, honey. Anyways, moving on.
All right, guys, we got a really pretty good episode. I've been seeing a lot of this trend, pretty much mostly like through dating, and it's just intriguing to me because I don't know what it's like to date as an adult. I've been with my wife since I was 12.
Yes, I saved you. I
got
saved you from dating. You saved me from dating.
And we got married in our early 20s. So dating is like a foreign concept for us. So when we just
watch from the sidelines and go, that looks terrible.
Yeah, so when we watch modern...
That does not look fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we watch modern dating and what people say and what people do and what people think what people say they want, it just like really like boggles my mind. Mm-hmm. So there's this like trend that's been going on, and we're gonna watch a few TikTok videos. I got like an article with some Bible verses, and I got like a statistic. It kind of has to do with something different, but that I just wanted to touch on at the end. But yeah, so let's just go on with the first one, and we'll just talk about it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy. So here we go.
Here we go.
I set up my Stream Deck to work, and I guess it's not working.
The woman is the prize. Women make things better. They are the added value that a man needs. A woman brings so much value to your relationship.
Men are the prize because men have to bring way more to the table than women do to get a relationship. So therefore, we are the prize.
That's not true.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
You know what is the prize?
I know.
A long relationship.
Mm-hmm.
A successful relationship.
A healthy relationship.
When you both made it through hell together, created a family, watch your kids grow, watch your kids have kids, and your kids' kids have kids.
Your
and
legacy.
See this legacy and see what you've built. That's success. And till death do you part. Mm-hmm. That's success. And when there are problems, you fix it, and then you're better for it. Mm-hmm. That's the prize. This whole thing about I'm the prize. Oh no, I'm the prize. Why? Why is there so much competition?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like we say all the time, like you should never, ever be in competition with your spouse. And if you're ever doing anything in your relationship just to win, then you both lose. So this is like a perfect example of that. Like why does somebody have to come out on top? But then like most people will be like, oh, well, we're equals in the relationship. But then you're going to sit here and fight about who's the prize.
Yeah.
Like that means that like somebody's better than the other one. So like what exactly are we fighting about here?
Yeah, like it's like if I was saying I'm the prize, it's like you should be happy to be with me. You should be happy that, you know, I settled for you.
Yeah.
Like if our daughter was dating a guy and he talked about how he was the prize,
I'd be
I would
like,
say,
red
babe,
flag.
run. I would say, honey, run.
Yep.
Run, because I wouldn't want my daughter to. It's like it's arrogance.
Yeah.
Look, I've seen Myron many times from the Fresh and Fit. There's so many things he says that I'm like, wow, I agree with that.
There's so many that we disagree with.
But this whole thing about the prize, like, bro, it's funny because if he's the prize, nobody's won him.
Yeah, because
he's not married,
not with anybody.
Nobody's won him. He's a prize out there that nobody's claiming.
Yeah.
You know, so it just really makes no sense to me. So let's go on to another one, and they're all kind of like on the same thing. So here we go.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you think you're the prize?
I know I'm the prize.
You're the prize to the men you don't want.
Okay.
When you get a man that you actually want, please believe me, we're the prize.
I like where he was going.
Carry
right?
the two. I'm like, wait a minute.
I did like where he was going when he says, you're the prize to the men that you don't want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Because
like,
those men would cherish her, but she walks right past them. She doesn't even notice them.
Right.
You know, because they're not the 10 that she thinks she's a 10. So she's looking for a 10.
Yeah.
And then if anybody is below a 10, they're going to walk right by her. She's not even going to notice.
This whole thing about
the whole rating thing.
The rating, like, yeah, you know, it's called the dating market value. The DMV, I think it's called the dating. CSMV. They instead of saying dating, they say sexual market value.
No,
so the
Lord.
SMV,
Mm-hmm.
right? So and there's a rating. You know this. So 5 is average, which they say 5 is pretty common, and 5s are good because they're not ugly, but they're not like America's Next Top Model, beautiful on the magazine covers, movie stars plastered on TV. 5 is an average, which is most women in the world, right? And then obviously 1 is you're disfigured or something. I don't know.
It's such a bad system to use in general.
Yeah, so a lot of these women on a lot of these podcasts, they all call themselves 10s, right?
They always say, well,
Right.
I'm a 10.
And then when a guy will say they're a 5, they get so mad. But the guy is like saying like a 5 is not bad. Like we think 5s are great, you know. So, but these women have such a big ego, and they're like, we're 10s. So hence comes they say that they are the prize because they believe they are a 10. They believe that they are perfect and they don't need improvement, even though they wear makeup. If you're a 10 and you don't need improvement while you're wearing makeup, your face is perfect. Right?
I'm wearing it for me.
So they say because of that, they say they are the prize. When it comes to the men, the men say they are the prize if they're in shape, or if they're tall, or if they make a lot of money.
They make a lot of money.
So to them, they're like, we're the prize because we're taking care of you. We're taking care of you, and we're able to put you in a nice house, buy you a nice car, get you whatever you want. So we're the prize. So
it's such a waste of time.
Everything is superficial. So for the women, it is the looks. For the men, it's the money.
Yeah.
Nothing about character.
And if you actually come to a conclusion, which I feel like that argument would probably last your entire marriage.
Yeah.
However long your marriage actually lasted, if you're sitting here competing with each other.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like, what is the point of the argument? Like, What is the like, okay, this has now been settled. Like, where are you at?
Proving the other person wrong. That's
But
what
like,
it is.
it'll never. I feel like it's never ending. It's not going to end. There's never going to be a conclusion.
Yeah.
And that's. I mean, it's probably going to be like a running joke in your marriage. Like, oh well, I'm the 10. I'm a 10. I mean, but maybe in some marriages, like they're being for real because both of them are so competitive that it's like, no, somebody has to be the winner in this subject.
Right.
Someone has to be. So that's like super toxic. But like, I feel like it would be like a running thing the entirety of your marriage. So it's like, is there ever a conclusion? And if there is a conclusion, what like, who gained something?
Yeah.
Who, like, what?
It ends in tragedy.
Like, what is the point? Like,
It ends in tragedy. But
it's putting the other person down and convincing them that you're better than them.
yeah, that's basically what it comes down to.
So it's like,
I'm the
how do
better.
we get to that conclusion? Like, someone's going to have to be like, no, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
I'm crap. You're the good one. I'm crap.
Yeah.
And like, why no spouse should want the other spouse to feel less valued or less, like less of a person or whatever, like in order for you to win.
Yeah.
That's why it's so toxic,
Yeah.
and then like, that's why competing with your spouse in your marriage is so toxic, because it's like somebody comes out as better and then the other person feels like crap.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine being in a
I don't see the
relationship?
point.
Can you imagine being in a relationship where your boyfriend or girlfriend or your spouse it's constantly telling you that they're the prize,
Yeah. What is this? That means
So-
that they're literally telling you
but they're
you're not great.
but they're not thinking you're the prize because they are the prize,
Right, because they're the prize.
Because to them it's like we both can't be the prize.
Yeah.
So the prize is me.
It's selfishness.
So it's like
selfishness.
To me, if I was in a relationship and a girl was telling me she's the prize, and she didn't think I was a prize,
I'd be like, why am I here?
I'll be like, well, then you obviously gonna leave me when you find something you think is better.
A better
So
prize,
No,
yeah.
no point.
Yeah. But like, why am I even here?
Yeah.
You think you're on a totally different level than I am. So why am I here?
Right.
And once you find somebody that's what you would consider to be on your level, you're going to leave me for them?
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
that's basically how I would feel.
Yeah.
I would feel.
Yeah.
But when it comes to us, I won the prize. I won the lottery.
Oh, are we doing this right
When I
now?
got- when I got
no, honey,
married.
you're the prize.
No,
Yes.
I won the lottery. So I'll let you
get out.
guys know.
That's our fight. No, you're better than me. No, you're better than me. Maybe
Hey.
that's how the argument should go. No, you're better.
Guys, marry you a woman that makes good meatballs. Yo, guys.
Yo, guys.
Like Nona Grace. If you guys don't know that TikTok, it's
Oh
a
my
great
God.
kid. It's an awesome kid. Like,
funny kid.
I would adopt him if I could. And I'm Brazilian. It's like, I want an Italian
He wants
kid.
an Italian son.
All right, so this one is going to be a little bit different. It's kind of like on the same subject that we've been talking about, but this one's a little bit different. So we're kind of flying through this. So I don't know how long this episode's going to be, but
It's been a long day.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just got home.
Yeah,
It's
so-
9 o'clock.
all right, here we
Okay.
You are not the prize. I often hear women say that a woman is the prize, a woman is the prize. And then I'm not talking about just women, men too. Men think that they are gifts to women. Many men think that they're the gifts to women. And I want to say that neither one of those is true. The truth is that the relationship that you're in is the prize. The relationship is the place where you grow, where you evolve, and where you heal. No one person is greater than another person. We all have value, but I want you to believe this. When you have a society that says that one person is a prize over another person, what we do is we create an environment of entitlement. And that is never, never conducive to partnership.
Yeah, I agree. We'll
Belongs
pause for
nowhere.
1 second because the beginning of this I never really kind of adjusted the camera. Let me just adjust it real quick. Yeah, so yeah, I think it definitely can hinder a relationship when there is one person who thinks they're the prize and the other and thinks the one that they're with is not. I mean, it really makes you both losers in a relationship, because nobody will win. You can't have a successful relationship when one person thinks they're the prize.
That they're better. Like he was saying, it's entitlement.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, to me, it's entitlement and selfishness. You know, like you're just thinking about yourself. First off, how does that make that other person feel when you're constantly like, I'm better?
Yeah, it's
and
arrogance.
like you're for real. Like you're not joking. I'm the better one in the relationship. You know it. I know it.
Yeah.
That's selfish.
Yep.
It's arrogant.
Yep.
And it's entitlement.
Yeah.
All very bad words to invite into your marriage.
Right. Like I said,
not a good idea.
Like I said, the prize
Is the
relationship.
what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. So the prize is the relationship, people. All right, let's go on to this next one. And I really like what they were saying here. And I hope what I did to remove the background music works, because we've lost any chance of monetization on some other videos.
Yeah.
I forgot the.
Are you okay being the breadwinner in a relationship?
I'm not the breadwinner in the relationship. You mean any man I'm with?
Yeah.
I'm not the breadwinner in the relationship.
But would you be okay if you were?
I'm not. There's no man I know from you, or he got a regular job. He work at a warehouse. He is the head of the household. He is the breadwinner. I will chip in as he see fit, because he's the head. Now, this is the way I was raised. A lot of women not going to agree with me.
No, they ain't gonna agree with that shit.
I'm cool if you don't.
The breadwinner, he has normally, that person has the larger voice in the relationship.
Even if I make more money, it doesn't make me the breadwinner.
Oh, okay.
I am advice and concurrence. He is the head of the household. This is what I
But what if you
believe.
got the money, you making the money?
No, this is what I believe. He's a man. He is the head of households. People need to start reading Ephesians. That's what I believe. I may be strong-willed. I may make money. I want to make his life better and easier, but I'm not the head of the household.
Yeah, so this is a woman who believes in the traditional marriage, the dynamic that the man is the head of the household. So she knows even if she made more money than her man, she's not going to come home and act like she's the boss. She's not going to come home and act like, yo, you're beneath me. Men are the leaders of their home. They're the leaders. They lead their homes. They're the ones that make the logical decisions. I know there are women out there. I make decisions too. Yeah, you are the wise counsel. Man shouldn't make a decision without his wife. He shouldn't.
He can't.
He shouldn't. He needs to consult. Like he said, she's a consultant, right? You consult with your wife.
Wise counsel.
I always use the example of the movie 300 with King Leonidas, when the messenger from King Xerxes came, and before he decided to do what he was going to do, what did he do? He looked back at his wife, and he just looked, and just with that look, he said, "Look, I'm going to mess some stuff up right now.
Are you cool?
I just need to make sure you're okay with it." And she gave him a nod. She's like, "I absolutely am." And he did. And him and his soldiers murdered the messengers. But that dynamic right there, it's like he didn't just do it without his wife. And when it came to, and then in the movie, when it came to he wants to go out and fight, he consulted with the council, but his real counsel was his wife, the queen, because she's the one that helped him. They made the decisions because he knows that she backs him up. So I mean that's what a man wants in a relationship. The man leads, but he wants to know that his wife backs him up. And a woman obviously should marry a man that she can trust and that to back him up. If she can't trust him, she's not going to back him up. So she's
gonna doubt his leadership,
right?
Which is probably gonna lead them all down a lot of wrong roads,
right,
along their relationship, because he's not leading. and, you know, like she's not trusting in him or doesn't know what to trust him in. And, you know, but he's not leading properly. So maybe they go down the wrong road under his leadership, because she's sitting here going, well, I'm supposed to trust his leadership.
Right.
You know, like how many wrong roads are they going to go down?
Yeah.
You know, if both people in the relationship are not holding up.
Right.
You know,
and you can't, and then, you know, if a woman marries a man and then he doesn't lead the way she hopes for him to lead, and then gets mad, it's like, well, did he ever lead the way you thought you wanted him to lead, or you hoped for him to lead? No. Then why'd you marry him?
Right. Did he? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope he would get better. And it's like, well, you know what?
I was going to change him.
There's nothing, you know, there's nothing wrong with like believing in your man, but if he doesn't have the certain qualities that you believe a man should have when it comes to being a husband, then maybe he's not ready to get married and you shouldn't marry him.
Yeah. I think it's interesting what she said too. I don't care if I'm making more money. When we come home, he's the head of the household.
Yeah.
So even in that dynamic where she's making more money, why does that make her the boss of the household too?
Yeah.
She might be the boss at work,
right,
but when she comes home, she should be able to trust her man to lead.
Right, because at the end of the day, you're both a union. It's a marriage, and you're for both working. You're both contributing to the household finances. You're both contributing, you know, and it goes into one bank account, and out of that bank account, you pay all your bills.
Necessities.
You know, go on vacation, food, going out to eat. It's one bank account. It's all mixed in together. There's none of this 50-50 thing, because the 50-50 thing is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
Yeah,
because
you didn't get married for 50-50.
If it's 50-50, you both need to make the same amount of money. So if I get a raise, my wife better get a raise, because she needs to make the same amount of money as me, because she's paying half the mortgage, she's paying half the car bill, she's paying half the car insurance, half the electricity. If we go on vacation, she's paying half. We go out to eat, we split in the bill. That's 50-50. So when people say 50-50, it's never 50-50. Come on. Because if you break it down, a woman who says like, oh, 50, me and my man, we're 50-50. Oh, so when you go out to eat, you split the bill? They'll say no. Oh, when you go on vacation, you pay half? If it's a $2,000 vacation, you're gonna pay $1,000. You know, what if she makes 50 grand and he makes 150, and based on his income, he can get a bigger house, and the mortgage is $2 grand. Can she pay $1,000 a month, or 50 grand a year? It really makes no sense. You know, I mowed half the lawn, you mowed the other half. When in the winter, I'm gonna snow blow the driveway, you snow blow the other half. This 50-50 thing it just makes no sense. It's supposed to be 100-100, both of you, 100% me and what I do, and 100% her and what she does. We both got to be all in. It really makes no sense. So I work outside the home, I make the income. So the 50-50 is not going to work for us, even if we wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, but if she went out to work tomorrow, she wouldn't be able to make what I make. So it would be impossible for us to do 50-50.
Yeah.
Do we help each other out in certain roles? Yeah. You know, when we talk about gender roles, when we talked about that, we're not saying the husband's never going to do the dishes. He's never going to cook. He's never going to do laundry. Yeah. Should a husband help out with his wife if she's feeling overwhelmed with some of these things? Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's there for, to help. And same thing with, I remember years ago, I think I took a picture of it. I posted on Facebook. We had a big snowstorm and I was sick. Tina went out and snowblowed.
He was real sick.
I was sick. I couldn't. I was in bed.
We were like snowed in. So
yeah.
We were all.
But that's my job. I do that. I snowblow the driveway. I clear out the cars. Do the girls come out and help? Yeah. They end up doing snowball fights.
It always ends up in a snowball fight.
It's me doing the whole thing.
And they just like clear off the steps.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's my job. So, but she helps when I need it. It's the same thing. That's how it should be. You have your roles, but then you help each other out when it's needed.
Yeah, I think if we're tying everything together with like being the prize, that puts somebody on top who like rules over everybody else, and like is better than everyone else, has a like, oh, this is my status and everybody else is it, and it just kind of knocks everything else out of whack.
Yeah.
So like if you're tying everything together with like watching the earlier videos and then talking about this, it confuses things and it blurs the lines.
Yeah.
So. Hey,
Tina, you got to cook for me. I'm the prize.
I'm the prize. I'd be like, now I don't want to cook for you.
Yeah. I've never, so look, this is all in the internet. When it comes to like our circle or in real life, I've never met anybody like that who says that, oh, I'm the prize in the relationship. Like, I kind of feel this is a whole internet thing. It's just,
you're just going to find it online.
It just exists in the internet.
Like when people are trying to get views, so they're making videos.
Yeah, because I've never.
Like, is there anybody this selfish who truly believes? But not only that, like, then why are you with this person if you feel like they're so beneath you?
Yeah.
Like, why are you even, like they're not on the same playing field as you. Why are you even with them?
Yeah, I really don't know anybody.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who has that attitude.
Who would have the nerve.
Yeah.
To go on a date with somebody. And just say like, hey, I'm the prize.
Yeah.
Like who would say that? That would immediately get yourself shut down.
Right. There'd be no second date.
I know if
if that happened on a first date.
Oh, if I went on a date and a girl told me she was the prize, I'd be like, check please.
Check please, thank you.
Oh no, just for me. She'll pay her own bill.
She'll pay her own.
And I'll walk right out. I'll be like, you know what? I'm looking for a different prize.
Yeah.
And it ain't you.
Yeah, it ain't somebody who brags about being the prize.
Yeah, it's just arrogance. You don't want somebody to put themselves up on a pedestal.
So I haven't seen this on this is like going around like online.
Yeah, I've seen this trend.
I don't think I've seen it. What is it? Just like people interviewing and then they go like, well, who's the prize?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it through on Red Pill podcast. I've seen it through YouTubers who go out on the street and talk to people. And, Myron talks about it. I've seen it through those like dating videos. I don't know if you guys ever seen these. There's like these dating videos where there sometimes will be all women or sometimes be all men, and they would have a balloon.
Oh, the balloon show or whatever.
And then when somebody shows,
the balloon.
so if it's all women, and then the host will bring out a man, and sometimes a woman will just take a look, pop their balloon, being like, no, and then they'll go and ask, why did you pop your balloon? And then the man would start talking, and if another woman who didn't pop her balloon yet hears him and he says something she doesn't like, she'll pop her balloon or something like that. Same thing with the men. I remember there was one where a woman came out, nobody popped their balloon, but as soon as she started talking, they all popped their balloon because she had a really deep voice like this. They all popped their balloon. So that was pretty funny. But so that's what I'm saying. I feel like it exists in the internet.
And it's always
because I don't know anybody in real life.
It's always physical things. Like if they're like, well, what makes you the prize? They're like, I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
For the women, it's the physical features. For the men, it's the money they bring.
Yeah, money. I make a lot of money.
No, so that's why like in these Red Pill podcasts, in these YouTubers, nobody talks about character. It's never about, I want somebody who's nice. I want somebody who has good character. I want somebody who's friendly,
goal oriented.
Who's family,
family oriented.
Yeah.
Wants kids.
It's never like that.
It's never.
It's
always like,
about
well, they have to be 6 feet, have a 6-pack, make 6 figures.
Yeah. And it's sad. It
really is. You're
really
like,
sad.
oh man, do you know how many people you're gonna date to finally realize that you're looking at the wrong stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then where's all the good men? Where's all the good men? Well, your checklist hasn't changed. Whenever you're looking for your next date, You're
Right.
still going down the same checklist.
Well,
Maybe your checklist should change, and then you'll stop finding the same guy
Right.
over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Well, here's the thing. A woman who's 20 in her early 20s, she's not going to have the same options as a woman who's 40. I mean, the woman who's 40 could be in shape, drop dead gorgeous or whatever, but she's 40.
Unfortunately,
You know,
it's
and-
just the truth.
So it doesn't mean that she's not going to find a great guy. She could still find an amazing man, have an amazing relationship, and live happily ever after. It can happen. But she's not going to have the same options as a 20-year-old. She's not, because she's younger.
Yeah.
She has more. She'll be able to have kids, where a 40-year-old won't. There's this
Kinda past the prime, yeah.
Another thing, real quick, I'll say is that the red pill will tell men to avoid single moms. They'll tell men to avoid, because single moms are not looking. They're looking for a father for their kids. They're looking for a man to provide. Well, most women are looking for a man to provide. Most women, and they'll say men don't want to date to raise another man's kids. That's true for a lot of guys, but there are some men that would. Single fathers
Yeah.
would date single mothers.
Hello.
Now, my best friend, I would never tell my best friend is single. I would never tell him don't date single moms. He's dating mostly women in his age, so that's pretty much what he's gonna date.
Yeah.
But I would just say, approach with caution. Is she looking for a husband? Is she looking to be a wife to somebody, to share a life with somebody? And that's a good thing. But if she's just like, I'm looking for a father for my kids, and then it's like, all right, well, that I would say that's bad intentions. Now, obviously, if he dated a single mother and they fell in love and got married, he would be like a stepdad and an authority figure in the home, right? But if that's all she was looking for, I mean, that's bad, because what is he going to get out of the relationship? He's just there for her to help discipline these kids and pay for their football, for the football cleats. He's not there for nothing else. So what are he going to get out of the relationship? But if a woman wants to be a wife, she wants a husband, she wants to be a wife, she wants to want a man in her life to cook for and live the rest of her life with, then all right, that's a good thing, because my best friend, he doesn't care if they have the kids. But I would just say approach with caution, because I wouldn't want him to get screwed in the end.
Well, he needs to be paying attention,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, so there's just a lot of things that's twisted with the red pill and what they're telling men. And it's pretty sad. But I came across this article here. It's called blissforsingles.com. So this article is written by Tatiana Green. And I want to read a little part here that she talked about when it comes to the prize.
The prize.
So she says here, if a man or a woman is a prize, that implies that we have to earn them. Right? So that they are an award for good behavior, or we have to do works in their eyes to get them, right? So it's like, oh, I gotta work. If you were the prize, I gotta work hard to keep you, or else you're gonna go somewhere else.
It's the whole entitlement thing.
Yeah.
They feel like they're above you. Yeah.
Right. So, and then it continues on here. Okay. I think. Okay, but the Bible says that the spouses are a gift, right? Proverbs 19:14, and marriage is referred to as a gift on 1 Corinthians 7:7. So
the marriage is the prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The marriage is the prize. I'm gonna look up the Bible verse here.
It's what you both win. Instead of winning against each other, you both win in marriage.
Yes.
I'd rather that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look up the Bible verse here. Proverbs 19:14. Okay, Proverbs 19:14. It says, "A house and wealth, a house and wealth, are inherited from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord." That's a really good one.
We are the blessing.
Yes. All right, and now 1 Corinthians 7:7. Let me look that one up real quick. 1 Corinthians 7:7. No, that's Chronicles. 1 Corinthians 7:7. All right, that one says, I wish that all people were as I am, but each has his own gift from God. One person has this gift, another has that. So yeah, so this is just implying that marriage is referred to as a gift, right?
And that we each bring something to the marriage.
Bring something to the table.
Bring something to the table. What do you bring to the table?
Or some of these modern women will say, I am the table. Oh my God.
No, you're
Gotta be
no,
kidding
you're not.
me. All right, so then it continued on here. Someone brought up says that that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. We talked about this in other episodes. So Proverbs 18:22. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing, and it is not good for man to be alone. That's in Genesis, right? God's word is calling for a humble heart in a man in order to recognize and receive a godly wife. A godly wife comes with
humble.
Yes. A godly wife comes with bonuses, favor from God, peace of mind, a partner in life. A godly husband is a gift to a wife and how he treats her. There is mutual submission and honor in their respective roles in the relationship. So therefore, neither should feel superior to the other because of their accolades, their title, or their outward success. This is a reminder that as decorated as someone can be on the outside, they are still human on the inside, and that's the part of you as a future spouse will have to live with. So choose wisely. Yes. So it is because
choose wisely.
Look, beauty fades. When we're old, we're not going to look as good as we did when we were in our 20s, right? But what we have inside is still good. You know, the outer parts of us are still going to look good to us. You know what I mean? So like, you know, a man who's like 80 years old and his wife is 80 still looks at her as like this beautiful, gorgeous woman because they've grown together. He's seen how wonderful she's grown. She's a wonderful woman she's grown into, and he still sees her as this beautiful being. Because a lot of times we look at our wives and we still see the face from when they were younger. We still see that, you know. And
He sees me when I was 14.
People are gonna be like, Chris
We've known each other for a very long time.
Some people are gonna be like, Chris Hansen, we got him. We got him.
He's talking about it.
Nah, so I'm just saying this that it's important for them to also fall in love with who they are inside, because you know there are men out there that people are like, whoa, you didn't like her, she's drop dead gorgeous, and be like, well, she's crazy.
Does the personality not
it's
matter?
Crazy. Why am I gonna deal with a woman like that? She's crazy.
Well, when she opens her mouth,
a man would want a woman that is humble and wholesome, and you know, obviously pleasing to the eyes, but a woman that's humble and wholesome and that can bring peace and that can make him feel comfortable and you know, feel like, you know, hey, I can do anything because you got my back. That's what we want. That's all we want. That's all we want.
Yep. And then women just want a man that they can trust, who treats them good. I mean, the Bible, you know, says, you know, that she needs to submit to him, but he needs to treat her well.
Yes.
You know, like, not everybody is worth submission.
Right.
That's why you don't submit to your boyfriend.
Right.
You know, like, you're dating for a reason.
Yeah.
Do you think you can submit to this man?
Right.
Is he trustworthy? Does he exhibit leadership, you know, qualities, be able to lead your family into a quality life, you know?
Yeah.
And just, you know, how he treats you like a, what does the Bible say? Like a gem, like a ruby. What is it?
I think it's a gem.
A gem.
Yeah.
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 You know?
No, far surpasses rubies, I think is the Bible
Yeah.
verse.
I'm like, is it
I have
like
to
a
look
ruby?
it up. I don't know.
I forget which one.
But yeah, it's just same way when you know you submit to your boss, right? if your boss keeps treating you well and does good things for you, you're gonna submit to him, no problem. You'll be like, hey, I'll do whatever you need me to do.
No problem
You know?
working hard for you.
But if your boss is a jerk, you're gonna quit and go to another job where your boss is gonna treat you right. So it's just kind of the same thing. It's like, you know, that's why if your wife is gonna submit to you, make sure you treat her really well. Make sure you make her feel safe. You know,
trusting you with literally her life, her children, everything.
Our
yes, our children. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's what we got to say about that.
That's what we got to say about that.
I wanted to. This one is this is a little different, but I wanted to kind of go over this because I just didn't know where to insert this. I found this like a couple of months ago. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to put it in today, talk about it at the end of this podcast, of the episode. It doesn't have nothing to do with prize, but I wanted to, this is something that I've seen a couple of YouTubers talk about. So this is the Jay Teachman study where it says 80% chance she stays married if she's a virgin. So 39% chance she stays married if she had 3 partners.
That went way down.
Yeah. 29% chance she stays married with 6 to 10 partners. And 18% chance she stays married with 16 to 20 partners. So 96% of women who've had 20 or more lovers never get married.
Harvard University.
And then it ends here at the bottom, says her notch count matters. Sorry guys, pressed the wrong. This is what happened. My stream deck's not working. It was working right before we started recording, so I have to do everything on the computer, and it's small, and I just pressed the wrong button. Anyways, so yeah, I mean,
so your body count matters.
Yeah, because you know it's. You hear this, you know, with a lot of these Red Pill podcasts where the men will say like how many women you slept with. I mean, men you slept with. And the women don't want to say it. They're like, why does it matter? And it matters to the men. And one of the reasons is this statistic. Because a man's like, I'm looking for a wife. And if you slept with multiple guys, there's a high chance this marriage ain't gonna work. You know, so it does really matter. And plus it is a sin in God's eyes to have multiple partners. Now I know people are saying, oh, what about the men? Now the Red Pill will say men and women cheat different. All right. Women, it's more emotional. Men is physical. Yes, that is true. But that does not mean that it is okay. A man with a high body count is bad too because it affects him psychologically. He does not look at women the same way. He wouldn't look at a woman as precious as rubies. If she was precious as rubies,
you wouldn't be doing.
He wouldn't be going around because rubies is rare, right? That's something rare. Now, if he holds himself until he finds that special woman and marries her and lays with just her, that's like a ruby. Like he's like, this is the only one. Like I'm gonna hold on to this. But how can a woman be a ruby if he's out there with multiple women?
Yeah.
But the Red Pill will say it's okay if men do it.
It's crazy because for me, like if I were dating, it would matter to me.
Yeah.
And it's just like the culture now just kind of showcases women being like, why does body count matter? But meanwhile, you don't think that the man that you're dating, you don't think that his body count matters?
Yeah.
How? That's part of his past.
Yeah.
Like when you're dating someone, you're learning about their past, and then you're learning about what they're looking at for their future. What do they want for their future? What kind of a person are they?
Right.
You know, and like their past matters in that whole equation. So for women to sit here and be like, no, your body count doesn't matter. That's also saying that your past doesn't matter.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but it does. Because it's part of you. It's part of your story. It's part of how you've become who you've become.
Right.
And like the person that you might spend the rest of your life with should probably know all of that.
Yeah.
So they're saying my body count doesn't matter. So a lot of the focus is on that because we're all like, that's just so ridiculous, you know? But then it's like, what about how do women feel about men with a high body count?
Yeah.
You know, and to me, it's like, that would matter like heck to me.
Yeah.
If I was
I
dating, I'd
wouldn't
be
want-
like, wait, how many?
Yeah. I wouldn't want our daughter dating a man that's slept with a ton of
And then
women.
it's like, I don't know whatever happened to like STDs. Like they're still out there.
Yeah.
And everybody that they've slept with, you're now going to be sleeping with. Like whatever happened to those teachings?
Yeah.
Like-
They cause nothing but problems. You know, and because we're
God.
Christians, well, people will say like, well, people in the Bible have multiple wives and slept with multiple women. I'm like, yeah, and it never ended well.
And this is why they teach
Didn't end well
against it.
for Solomon
Yeah.
because all his wives took him away from God because they all brought in all these different pagan faiths and everything. Like it didn't end well for him.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham slept with his their servant. Didn't end well. So it's like, you know, it's just not a good thing. Just it's good to be with that one person and have not have a large body count. You know, so it's just I think that's why men we should look to the Bible, read the Bible, and you know, talk about sexual immorality. You know, and we're visual men. We see something and you know we think about it. It can get imprinted in our mind, right? But that's where we need God. That's where we need God to help us with these immoral thoughts in our mind. And the more you look to God for help with this, the easier it becomes. You know, I know men who can look at a beautiful woman in the street and they just keep thinking about her. You know, I could see a beautiful woman in the street and then and 5 minutes later, I don't even remember what she looks like. Because God has helped me to only have eyes for my wife. Because I've asked him to help me. I only want eyes for my wife. I don't want my eyes to wander. I don't want my eyes to look at other women. Because I want my wife to be number one for me. And that's
Amen.
Yeah, that's
Period.
So that's what, you know, it does get easy. I can go to the beach and just be like, when I'm at the beach, I'm reading or sleeping
I was gonna
anyways.
say, dude falls asleep with a book on his
Yeah,
face.
so I'm
He
not
puts his
looking
hat-
around.
He puts his hat down like this, and
Yeah.
the next thing you know, he's asleep.
Yeah. So I think we'll end it there. I think this was a good one. I think it was a good one for us to talk about. It's really good. I'm glad we were able to put in some Bible verses in there. I think I know every episode I don't, because we are Christians and we definitely want to help people or talk to people about how it is to live in a Christian way, and
Yeah, or
especially with the relationship.
at least give you something to look
There's
up.
a lot of
There's-
great examples in the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, but the Bible can be overwhelming too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's overwhelming to me. So it's
Yeah.
like if we're talking about a topic, and then we're go ahead and mention verses in the Bible, they can, because they're interested in that topic. Now they know what
Yeah.
verse to go. Just go ahead and look it up and
Yeah.
see what else is connected to it. You know.
No, absolutely.
So, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. And follow us on our joint account on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell. And look, our followers have grown. I appreciate it. And we're just hoping it continues to grow. So thank you, guys. And pray that we can invest in a better camera sometime this summer.
This thing's
just
giving
so I
us-
don't have to keep adjusting it. So I have it on this setting, but next episode, when I have it on this setting, I'm going to have to adjust it again.
It's not going to work next time.
Yeah.
Because we have to keep breaking it down and putting it back up. Anyways, okay.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys on the next time.
Peace.
Peace.